Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, and thank you very much for coming to this wonderful event of Routes to Market. We'll be starting promptly at 11:15 because we have people participating and following online, and the scheduled time is 11:15. You are left with 9 minutes to refresh your cups of tea or bottles of water. Rush to the loo if you need to, and then if you can be seated just before quarter past. While I have your attention, I'm going to ask you to take out your phones, your tablets, anything that makes a noise, and make sure that you have it on vibrate at the most, please. Should yours ring, we're going to ask you to come and sing a Davido song because it's his birthday today. He was born on this day 32 years ago, and he's come to define Afrobeat. So you do not want to be that person being recorded, filmed, and posted on social media doing that, yeah? So please make sure that your phones or tablets are on vibrate. You're sitting in my seat. No, it's fine. I'll have the edge. Thank you. 2 minutes, everybody. 2 minutes. Never have to worry about these things. All right, everyone. It is a 11:15 on the dot this beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning in Cape Town. It's going to top out at about 25 degrees Celsius, and it's a gorgeous day. So thank you very much for making the time and joining us here in person for this incredible Invest Cape Town event around routes to market in partnership with the Craft and Design Institute. It's a good day to be in Cape Town for several reasons. 7.2 billion rand in property investment was realized in Cape Town in 2023. That's a report that came through a few hours ago. The good news about the Good Hope Centre and the fact that there'll be some soliciting of opinion in terms of what needs to happen to that amazing eyesore of a building in the beautiful Cape Town. So please look out for that and engage with the city as to what you think that space could be used for. Also good because 99.9% of prepaid meter holders who draw electricity from the city of Cape Town have their prepaid meters updated, meaning that the 24th of November, which is on Sunday, you will still have a meter box that is working. The 0.1%, please go fix it. Otherwise, it's going to be a 12,000 Rand cost. My name is Africa Milan, and I'm looking forward to this incredible event where we'll not only hear from Alderman James Foss and Erica Alk about the city and the CDI and the work they're doing in making sure that if you are making product, that you're able to have access to a market. But also we have 3 industry experts who are going to be part of a panel later who are consuming your product and selling it on to their customers. And we'll engage with them fruitfully around how you can do that more effectively. But let me tell you a little bit about the space that we're in. Invest Cape Town Centre here at the City Hall is a hub that is designed to promote the city's economic successes, to highlight business and investor support initiatives, as well as to showcase Cape-made products. It opened in January of 2024. The Cape Town Mayor, Jordan Hill-Lewis, was here to inaugurate the building. The centre has hosted over 40 events since, including engagements with high-profile international government delegations, with investors, with MBA student groups, all the lot. Invest Cape Town is the city's official business brand, responsible for telling Cape Town's economic success story and positioning the city as the easiest place to do business here in Cape Town. Now, if you're proudly Cape Town-based company or entrepreneur, please get in touch with the Invest Cape Town team for promotional support and to leverage the city's industry networks and business support services. You can visit their website by going to investcapetown.com for more information. I should also note that we have a number of guests who are joining us remotely who could not make it to the City Hall, thank you very much for making the time. It's going to be a fruitful and engaging time for you. Thank you very much. And of course, if you have any questions, email the team from Invest Cape Town. They'll answer them for you, all right? We care for you, but I've got 50 business makers here who we're going to be prioritizing. All right. To set the tone and to set the scene for us, please welcome the CEO of the Craft and Design Institute, Ms. Erica Alk.
Morning, everybody. What a lovely day this is. It's so exciting to be out of the office, away from the computer, and meeting and greeting people. So thank you for taking time out to come today. My task is to try to set a little bit of the scene. I've got 10 minutes to talk. I'm going to try and not talk for 10 minutes, but you never know. So I think that the idea for this session, Routes to Market, comes out of our sort of collective wisdom, I guess, that market access is everything. I hear the popcorn going for emphasis. That market access for businesses actually is the most important driver of business. It's kind of been the mantra for CDR since year dot. That we know, there's obviously a complex interplay between your product and customers and what opportunity you're addressing, and your business systems and your costing and pricing and how you produce and where you access your materials. All of that is pretty complex. Sort of interplay of factors that will impact on your business and how successful you are in the marketplace. But at the end of the day, if your products aren't in the market and you're not selling and you're not engaging with consumers, everything else is theoretical. So this really is what informs the way the CDR works and the way we try to support the makers and businesses in our environment. Now my phone has gone off. So today's event is thanks to the city, who has asked us to sort of co-convene a session. So I want to thank the team, Soraya and Alderman Fosse, I'll introduce a little bit later, and Clayton, who runs the space, for making the space available. We have lots of ideas about how we can be activating it more for our community, so watch the space. But we've put together a really interesting panel for you. They represent the combined experience of about a century's worth of business combined. I'm trying not to give away anybody's age, but there's a lot of experience and wisdom in the room. So the comment to you all is just think and kind of listen to what they're saying, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions. So first I want to thank them for all coming today, because they've come from a long way. Cheryl has come all the way from Kalk Bay. For somebody who lives in the City Bowl, it's a long way away. Vanda has come from Porterville, which is a little bit further. And Maureen has come from Johannesburg, so she wins the prize for commitment. They all bring a unique perspective. So when we were inviting people to think who could we have on this panel, actually we are spoilt for choice, because there's a multitude of routes to market and opportunities for market in Cape Town and in South Africa. Starting off with, I think what most people are familiar with would be the B2C market. I think most people start off business to consumer, taking their products to markets where you can engage with the consumer. Even within this environment, there is lots of complexity and lots of opportunity. So Vanda from Karma's Makers represents a very loved South African brand, a very well-established South African brand that is where there's a stampede to their door for people to get access to the market and accessing a particular niche consumer or customer. So Vanda's going to talk a little bit about, well, I hope in the conversation around the B2C kind of environment. Then there's the B2B environment, and I think a lot of a lot of makers struggle actually to get into that environment. And the two speakers, Cheryl from Cork Bay Modern and Maureen from Tourvest, will play in this space, but also very different market opportunities in this space. Cork Bay Modern is a high-end, kind of high-value art design market, whereas Tourvest is not high-end, but also works with more volume and directed more to a sort of tourist market. That is just, I mean, as I've described it, is just a tiny slice of the picture of what is available. So I think, again, just listen to what they have to say. It may be that their market is not the appropriate market for you, but even within that, there will be wisdom and ideas and information that you can take from, that you can learn from in the way that you approach markets. I want to thank Africa, who's gifted us with his awesome facilitation and conversation skills today, and he's going to be leading the discussion. And then I want to thank the city for partnering with us for creating this opportunity, and actually I'm so inspired. I think we need to be doing this more regularly. And on that note, I want to call on Alderman Vos, who's gifted us with some of his time today, just to share his thoughts and reflection, and also to take the opportunity to publicly thank the aldermen in the city who have been supporting the CDI since we started in 2001, which was a very long time ago. Alderman.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's still good morning, and I hope by the end of my speech it will still be morning. And especially for our viewers watching from home or office, you are missing out. We are at the iconic City Hall, the Invest Cape Town Centre. Africa said that just down the road there's this eyesore of the Good Hope Centre, right? And I want to say to this audience and to those watching online that the plan is to revitalize and optimize that iconic Good Hope Centre into a modern precinct, a vibrant mixed-use facility, retail, residential, hospitality, events, because that forms part of the inner city economic revival. And it's such an important landmark, attached with lots of history, culture. And so we recognize that the Good Hope Centre played a significant role in Cape Town's history and in South Africa, if you read up about the history of the Good Hope Centre. And, but beyond that history, our aim is to preserve that history and incorporate the dome into the new mixed-use precinct, and to unlock so much of that economic value that it would bring immense value to our entire revitalization of the inner city, because it is edged on such an important part of Cape Town's economic landscape, with the highways and the byways, that it would make absolute sense for us to find private sector development opportunities and do something cool at the Good Hope Centre. Then we've got the iconic City Hall and the iconic Good Hope Centre, and not forgetting the castle. And this could then, over time, become such a cool precinct, a tourism triangle, connecting the dots, and then the Grand Parade, also with lots of history and significance in terms of Cape Town's trade ecosystem, where it started and what it could become. So that's the plan. Let's use our assets in a way that makes business sense, that can really contribute to place making. And so, therefore, it is wonderful for me to welcome you all to this iconic City Hall in our Invest Cape Town Centre for what promised to be an inspiring gathering of local talent and innovation. So this is where innovation meets. And so a big thank you to the Craft Design Institute for partnering with us to make this happen. Your commitment to supporting the craft and design sector is making a real difference, and it's such an honor to work with you. And so as the mayoral committee member for economic growth, this job is more than a work. This job is a passion, it's a purpose, but also a privilege. A privilege because I get to serve the people of Cape Town from corner to corner and community to community. and to see innovation, craftsmanship, talent, passion displayed in all parts of our city and in every sector, and how this craft and design influences so many of our other sectors. So I have a front row seat, but using that front row seat in a way that can influence policies and programs and platforms that can really make Cape Town that go-to city in Africa and beyond for craft and design. And so economic growth isn't just about those numbers and those programs. It's also about helping entrepreneurs and makers, turning their ideas into thriving enterprises. And it's about building a city where creativity is celebrated and where the benefits are felt in every community, from the Cape Flats to the boutique stores in our CBD. And this event is why we do what we do. Cape Town is bursting with creative energy. Designers are crafting unique products, artisans are blending traditions with innovations, and entrepreneurs, this is the part I love, they are pushing boundaries because it can never be business as usual. We need to flip the script on how we approach our businesses, especially when we think about our product readiness and our market to access. And so it's also about ensuring that our talent reaches as many new markets as possible. That's why this event is called Routes to Market, so that we can tap into new markets, rekindle existing markets, and to get more business going. That's the name of the game, local and international. I recently had the pleasure of visiting some of you at your workplaces and seeing your innovation and your passion firsthand is so inspiring. Every design and every product, and I must confess and declare I get to take some of those beautiful products home. Thank you so much. I love it when the craft and design arranges these site visits because I never leave empty-handed. And for those watching online, I do declare them. You can see those gifts in the registry, and I proudly insert them in those registry because they are made with hands from Cape Townians, the design, the thinking that goes into it. I'm blown away by every visit. And every design really tells a story if you think about it. Because we not just go and look, we also interact, we talk, because there's a story behind every product, every design. And it's those stories that really tell a story of resilience. I think about our last visit, how it started. And that creativity, you can see, keep on flowing. The leather business in Khayelitsha. And those stories are really the heartbeat of Cape Town's craft and design scene. But having a great product, ladies and gentlemen, is just the start. And I'm personally obsessed with ensuring that Cape Town products are market ready. That's the next step in the journey. From design to costing and pricing and marketing, and ultimately getting your products onto shop shelves and into customers' hands. And that's why my department not only funds the Cape Trade Portal, which is a platform for connecting local producers with global markets, but we also host many workshops to help entrepreneurs build these critical skills. Because starting a business and keeping it afloat is not easy. It's tough. There are so many external influences. And these workshops are designed to make it easier, to cut through the noise, and to make sense of your product and how we get it into those markets, hence the routes to market concept. And not forgetting the Kuier at the Castle, which is a wonderful platform to showcase proudly made Cape Town products. That's why we think about this precinct as becoming the innovation hub of the city, with a castle, the Good Hope Centre, the City Hall, and Grand Parade. The potential is there, and we will keep on keeping on until we get it through, because we owe it to many generations before us, because this is where the trade started. Good Hope Centre, the street just off Good Hope Centre is called Short Market. That's where the first market was established. And then you get to Grand Parade, where all of the trade, spices, clothing, textile, this is where and the flower sellers. And this is where we will continue pushing those boundaries for new innovation so that this can become the innovation hub for craft and design in Cape Town. But ladies and gentlemen, to grow, you also need to understand market trends. And that's why, Erika, when you mentioned my Invest Cape Town team, so it's lovely to display and to showcase. It's another thing to understand the market intelligence, the economics behind those markets and the economics behind your product, and obviously the route to that market. And that's why we rely heavily on that economic analysis and all of the economic intelligence, the data-driven decisions that goes into this whole ecosystem. Because you need to understand the trends, you need to get to spot opportunities, and also to overcome those challenges. And that's why today's lineup with this panel of industry experts is so important, because their insights will help you understand those new markets, how to grow your customer base, and to position your business for future success. So events like this align perfectly with our broader economic growth mission, because it's through these partnerships and initiatives that our city's business hub and our Jobs Connect program are equipping businesses with the tools to start, grow, and succeed. Now, tourism, one of Cape Town's biggest economic drivers, also plays a key role. Every year, millions of visitors come here, not just for the scenery, but also to take home a piece of Cape Town story. And that could be your product, because tourism now employs 1 in every 23 Cape Townians. The highest number ever. And talking about high numbers, we are now landing 226 international flights every week in Cape Town. We have connected Cape Town to 31 destinations operated by 27 airlines, the highest number ever. This coming season, 88 cruise ships will dock in Cape Town, and it's estimated that for each cruise stop, about 100 million rand is spent in Cape Town through the purchasing of our products, buying local, and of course the maintenance and the fuel and the fruits and the veg and the wines. But it's a big money spinner for Cape Town. So the way that craft and design connects with tourism, the visitor economy, is key in all of this, because every job matters. Because by connecting your craft to tourism, we create opportunities for locals and visitors. So, ladies and gentlemen, this event is also more about simply showcasing your creativity. Wonderful to showcase the products, but it's about the design, the thinking that's gone into these products that we also want to celebrate today. And I really hope that those panel discussions will highlight the innovation, the craftsmanship that goes into this craft and design scene. And it's about unlocking those opportunities. So whether it's local boutiques, vibrant markets, or global exports, there are many paths to success, and today we are here to help you explore them. And so to all of the designers, the makers, and the entrepreneurs today, take in those insights, ask those questions, and make those connections, because Cape Town's retail and craft scene is dynamic and it's growing. And let's lean into this moment and make it yours. Together, let's also elevate Cape Town as that global hub for creativity and business. And thank you to the Craft and Design Institute, the entire team, for the wonderful work that you do in Cape Town, and to my department in the Growth Coalition and in the Invest Cape Town work streams. Thank you for exploring these new ways of doing business. Because as a city, we can fall into the trap of doing the same thing over and over, or as a city, we can come up with new innovation and flip the script on how we approach economic development. And I choose the latter, because I know that I'm in the right company. And you get two kinds of people in society: those who wait for things to happen and those who make things happen. And this is where it starts. So thank you again to all of you, and I wish you all of the success. And as we go into the busy festive season, may there be lots of visitors and locals buying our products and taking a piece of Cape Town home with them. Thank you so much, guys.
Another round of applause, please, for Alderman James Force, the MACO member for economic growth in the city of Cape Town. James, thank you very much for your passion. Thank you for keeping on, because you're a man who walks the talk in every way possible. And to all those makers who are gifting the Maker member those gifts, there are others like us who like to visit and perhaps purchase the product that you are offering. Thank you very much, James. James, at some point, will have to excuse himself, so he'll listen to as much of the panel discussion as possible. As you know, in South Africa, lots of conversations around particularly spaza shops, and he's going to have to go and deal with some matters pertaining to that. So if you see him excused, it's because he's gone on to his next meeting. But thank you very much for making the time. Now, they've been introduced so many times already, so I'm just going to call them up to come and join me, please, on the seats above. Maureen is with Tourvest and has 2 decades of experience in the retail industry and a seasoned professional managing brand and buying functions across the product ranges for Tourvest destination retail brands at OR Tambo International. Maureen, lovely to have you here. Vanda Dutoy is a creative entrepreneur, a passion for empowering local talent and career spanning over 40 years. I am telling their ages, aren't I? In retail, in product development and mentoring. She is with Karma's Makers, which was, she joined, I think, in 2006, it says here. And then the final one is Cheryl. Is it Rumbak or Rumbak? Rumbak, thank you very much. A wonderful artist and curator. She's known for her dedication to preserving and promoting diverse cultural expressions, and she is the curator of the Kalk Bay Modern Gallery, which is so far away from Cape Town City Centre, as darling Erica had intimated. Round of applause, please, for my panel. And then, as indicated a little bit earlier, we've got an hour set aside for this panel discussion. I want to spend about 35 minutes asking the set of questions I have and then leave the bulk of the time to questions from you. So start shaping your question for us, please. And then when you ask the question, ask it of one panel member and be succinct and brief, because we want to go through as many questions as is possible. Maureen, let me start with you. James made reference to the visitor economy and then reference how many ships are going to be berthing at the Cape Town Cruise Terminal and how many flights are flying through Cape Town International. Now, we know you are based in Johannesburg at OR Tambo. Is it an exciting space? Do you have a customer that is desperately seeking locally made and grown products and service for them to take home with them?
Thank you, Africa. And first of all, just thank you to the City of Cape Town and the CDI for this invitation. Yes, Africa, absolutely. People that visit this country, for most of them, it's a long-haul trip. They plan well in advance. They're very excited to come. We're part of the African continent, a big romantic place to go to. So yes, they are very excited to come. And for many, it's a once-in-a-lifetime journey. You don't pop over to South Africa every 6 months. Maybe some do, lucky them. But yeah, they're very excited and they do want to take back with them a part of this beautiful place that will always serve as a reminder of their beautiful trip.
And what product are they looking for? What are they looking to purchase?
Well, that depends on the person. You know, people attach value to different things. Somebody can pick up a pebble from a beach and that would be enough. Other people are passionate about books. They might buy a book. And I must say the world is moving towards the real stuff, the stuff that matter, you know, and they appreciate to understand the culture and the traditions of the place they visit, and therefore a lot of our visitors tend to buy pieces that are made by people of that country and represent the cultures and traditions of and design and the design industry of that country.
All right. Vanda, I'm going to bring you in now. You look after commerce makers, and I know on my station where I work, we all get excited when there's a commerce makers coming up. What excites them, your customers, about the product that is being made available in this room?
Well, I think Karma's is very carefully, hi Africa, and everyone. So Karma's is very carefully curated, so we take a lot of effort into putting together each individual event. We have 6 nationwide, and I think it is to find this incredible collection of high-end design and craft under one roof. So basically, I think the visitor is so spoilt for choice because we select so carefully. So we sort of selecting on your behalf. So if I actually am amazed at the spending power at Karma's, you know, the way that people do spend, even when the economic times are difficult. But I think it is because they are firstly meeting the makers. So you are there with your product, you're telling your story, and secondly, every single product at Karma's is, of course, made locally. We don't allow any imports, except obviously for the raw product that sadly isn't available in this country now. But so yes, I think that's the hype. It's just to find this new intake of product, of talent, and to meet these new people, these new makers.
So,
the wine helps.
Absolutely. 6 events over the year, curated. Out of every 10 products that are brought to you for consideration to curate for one of the markets, what percentage do you actually take to market? Like out of every 10 that say, hey, I've done this, what's the likelihood of me actually making it?
So we do an online application, and that is our first round, you know. So we select off the online application. They send in photographs, a brief of what they do, and then we interview the ones that we have selected. So at each event, we have a 30% new intake. So it is... so the first culling, so to speak, which is a terribly weird word, but anyway, the first round...
Let's call it screening. The first
screening.
Can we?
Thank you. Okay. So the first screening, we select about 30, out of 10, I would say 4. And then they go into the interview process. So the first screening is hard, but there are many applications.
Okay. All right.
Is that right? Is that what you wanted to know?
That's what I wanted to know. Because we've got 50 makers in the room. We've got many more listening to us online, all of them desperate to get into one of those 6 curated. And they need to know, and I'll ask in a moment, what do they need to do to stand out, to make it past that first screening and into the room? Because I believe for a lot of them, their stories are so fantastic that if you have them in the room, it's going to be difficult for you and your curating team to actually say no, not to your product today. Exactly, and all of that. Let me bring you in, Cheryl. In Cork Bay Modern, you've got the art studio side of it. And I think we're going to park that for the purposes of this morning and rather go to the gallery shop where I've been to in the last 2 months. And the product you have there is just exquisite. The environment is incredible, and the selection I truly enjoyed. What excites you about what is being made in Cape Town and in South Africa as far as craft and design is concerned? I might need you to bring your microphone closer to your mouth. Thank you.
Yeah. Fine. Is that good?
Perfect, yeah.
It's such a difficult question, that one. Because I see something and then I think, oh, wow, that's got potential and that's fantastic. But most of it, it's Southern Africa. I keep it all to Southern Africa. So there's no other stuff that comes from Namibia or parts of Africa. So what's important is a price point, number one, for a gallery shop, because also that it's quite easy to travel with, even though we do shipping. A lot of it, I don't know, I think there's such an incredible variety of handwork, and that's what most people are amazed at. First, the materials that people in South Africa use, recycled materials, environmentally sort of sustainable materials. Also the design, quality, the color, the use of color. I think the multiculturalism that's actually in Cape Town is one of the best things, I think, because each culture presents a thing in a different way. And the variety, and that it's not sort of just made in a factory somewhere. Each product has got a consideration of aesthetics, design, materials. I think that's probably
Which then
most.
makes the price point quite an interesting conversation, because I imagine you absolutely sell fewer items than Tourvest will be doing
Much,
out
much,
of
much fewer,
our
yes.
Tambo, right? And because each product, each unit has had a consideration, therefore one does expect to pay a slight premium for that product?
People don't mind paying if something is beautifully made, is attractive, and also fits into their own environment. That's quite important.
Yeah.
So I think especially for a museum gallery shop, there should be something for children. There should be a variety of products for different kinds of gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's, and also through the years, I have consistent suppliers, which they always renew their product. They bring something new in a season. It's not the same old, because trends do change, and people are, they see something in pink now, something now greens are in. So there is that kind of attractive quality that needs to be upgraded every year, even by a producer that we use all the time.
So how do you maintain that steady, reliable, the quality
Yes.
and reliability of delivery of product, person you've worked with for years versus I want to try somebody new, there's a new exciting product that is coming out on the market that I think my customers would like?
There's usually a lot of teething troubles, when you start with a new producer, but sometimes not. It's so random, but I think in a sense that it has to be well made, it has to be consistent, the producer has to be reliable. It also must make ordering quite easy, because sometimes, we like to just let you know we need it, and then it's delivered.
Yeah.
So that consistency, the way you run your business, is very important.
All right. I'm going to come back to you, Maureen. I suppose similar question. What percentage of your product catalog is from consistent suppliers you go back to year in, year out, and what percentage is actually something new, something different that you guys have spotted, or perhaps one of the makers has pitched to you?
So there's a large number of suppliers that have supplied consistently into Tourvest. I think our market is less maybe fickle in a fashion, a trend way. People don't want the latest pink scarf, maybe. The customers that come to our stores, there's a percentage of trend that influences the product that we make, but it's less fickle. I think it is difficult to become a supplier at Tourvest, and that's a terrible thing to say, because there's so many people that approach us to offer their product, and it makes my life really difficult because the opportunity is not always right at that point in time. You know, we review a lot of our products continuously to find the gap within the market for a specific product. And if you perhaps come with something now that I don't see a gap for, it doesn't mean that it's a never ever. You know, it's like continuously knock on the door, keep the communication alive, keep showing us what you're doing, because those who persist, there's usually a gap, and you know, it's a soft spot for me. I love beautiful new products, so yeah, but it's not easy. It's a long process.
Out of interest, what is the reason for it being difficult?
No, it's
No,
because there are so many people that bring their product to us. It's not because we have loops that you need to jump through any other than maybe the gallery. But I do probably on a weekly basis receive 50, 60 calls to say, I've got something that I want to show you, you know. And you also need to find the right time in the year to do that. So you need to get to know the retailer that you want to supply. You need to get to know their rhythm, what they need, when they buy, when they don't buy. And that's the only reason it's difficult, not because we are making it difficult.
All right, so just between you and I, never mind them. What do I need to do if I'm caller number 52 on that day and I'm saying, Maureen, I've got this wonderful product. What's going to make me stand out so that at the very least you have a meeting with me? Because that's my objective. I want these makers to have a meeting with you lot in order to pitch and say, and then if you turn them down there, that's fine. I think the difficulty is getting into the room and getting consideration.
Okay, to be honest, to start off with, I maybe exaggerated on 50. At some days it feels like more though. I suppose, you know, try and get to the point without being abrupt. You know, you're friendly, you say what you want to say, and try and deliver your message as clearly as you possibly can. You know, there are people that say, I've got this fabulous product and it's selling like hotcakes and you're going to want it. I'm going like, okay. That is wonderful, but give me the real information. Say, I'm a maker, I do this, I do that. I really love your stores. I love that store. I love that brand. I've got something that I think will work. May I please see you? And I usually ask them to mail me first so that I can just, you know, you don't want to on the spot go set up a meeting. I ask them to mail me a catalog, and that's the next level where you interact with this person that you've not met is on mail. So, you know, every interaction leaves a memory of what that person is about, in a way, you know. So let that interaction be your best interaction. Your catalog be the most beautiful catalog. Your mail be written beautifully. Your contact details be there. Your price list is there. Everything, so that if I open it, I don't go, oh, now where do I start to figure out what this person is trying to sell to me or to offer me? And then once I've reviewed that, and the timing within our buying cycle, or if I need that product, I will set up a meeting to meet with the maker face to face, and then start interacting with the product itself.
I'm being cheeky. Is there an ideal time in a 12-month calendar year to be mailing so that you are at the beginning of the cycle for you?
I must say we don't really buy in cycles. It's not like a traditional retail where you've got cycles of buying, but there are busier times and not so busier times. Like it's not a good time now because the year is done. You know, we've prepared for season. If you're not ready for season now, you're too late, much too late. So the end of the year, no, and then the beginning of the year, maybe, but then everybody jumps up and goes, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, you know. There's not an up and a down. You just need to be consistent and keep on trying. You know, if you don't succeed today, phone again in a month and pop a mail, you know, just be visible all the time.
Okay. Vanda, you made reference to the fact that about 40% of products that are pitched to you will be screened and will be considered for an interview. How do I make sure that I'm one of that 40%?
So we have 2 rounds of applications a year because we work in 6 months, 2 seasons, you know, an autumn, winter, and then a summer, a spring, summer. So it's very clear that our applications online are open for usually 2 months. And it's all generated, the whole form and all your information, your photographs are generated. So that is really makes it quite easy. So if your application, the photographs you are putting on your application needs to be fantastic because we are looking through 1,000 applications online. And so obviously, you know, at one point it gets, oh my word, we really, I need to eat quite often. So, you know, sort of need to take a break. So I think that first contact online for us, for commerce, is if your presentation needs to catch my eye, you know, it is the same as when you are at the event. I always say to people, make your stall, your stand out because we have got 14,000 people moving past. So it's that thing of what makes me stop at filing through all the applications. Why am I going to stop? Because it's a lekker, funky presentation. Obviously, it doesn't have to cost money. Just use your creativity. Yes, so that is very important. Is firstly to do the online application and to make me stop and look at it and consider it.
Okay. Cheryl, I get a sense that you resonating with the product absolutely is important in order for that to make it to the gallery shop. So how do people excite you?
It has to resonate with the gallery. That's why it all has to come through me. So I often someone's got a fantastic idea, and I don't mind. You know, I work with Kaskama. I buy the fabric. I import the fabric, unfortunately, because there's no fabric in South Africa. Well, there's very little available. And so I don't mind facilitating if I think a product is worthwhile and I can see the potential of it. So with embroidery, the embroidery products are very, very, very sought after, especially with Kaskama. So I don't mind doing a product development with the producer who has something, who's talented, or even with jewelry, to fit the gallery and the product, you know, and the clientele that I think will be coming to buy.
Yeah.
So it's quite a little bit of product development, or maybe you've got your own range already that I can take in. We have 6 exhibitions a year. So we have textile and jewelry at the end of the year. And then we have a ceramic and sculpture exhibition. But it all has to hang within the environment of Cork Bay Modern.
Yeah, yeah. Maureen, you don't have that luxury, right? Where, like, the product must be ready. You might give ideas in terms of maybe a bit more this, a bit less this, but the product almost has to be, as James referred to it, market ready.
Yes, I think so. I mean, I do guide makers quite a lot. I love working with makers and developing on their ideas and giving them hints of hints and tips and ideas of what might work better within our market. But yes, it should be market ready to I would say like to 80% market ready. The rest we can work on together.
Yeah. Vanda, is that the same for you, or are you happy to get excited with the maker?
No, very a big part of what we do is the development and the development of the product, the presentation, the packaging, the costing. So we very much, when you are selected on that first round, you do come in for the interview, and from the interview we usually we select 95%. So and then the reason why you come for the interview is that we can actually say to you, listen, this product is fantastic, but this and this and this, there's an overlap because we don't really do overlapping. So we are very, very invested in the product development and in the business as a whole, because our model works on we work on a commission basis. So I always say that we have a partnership at Karma's with our maker, so we invest a lot of time and effort and real love. We really are a very touchy-feely company. So because of this partnership we have with you, it is a win-win, you know. Yeah, so that is really what we do. I think we were the original incubator model, as we have been around for a very long time.
All right. I'm going to ask two final questions of each of the panelists, then I'll come to your questions. I'm not sure, Johan, if you're going to send somebody to come and take the microphone for those questions. I'll leave the contentious one for last. Let me ask this. How important is the maker's personal story in selling that product? And perhaps let me start with you, Cheryl.
It is quite important, depending on, it's not the most important thing, because I do find that people, if they like something, they'll buy it, even though they know absolutely nothing about who made it and where it comes from. There is always that element. With things like working from the sand, particularly cultural designs and traditions, I think the maker is very important, and where it comes from and the whole cultural aspect of it is also important. It does vary because, I mean, art is about the maker, is very much part of that, and the material that person chooses to make the product with. It has to be a synergy of that always. Yeah. I think it is very important.
All right. For you, Vanda?
So the maker story to us is it's the foundation of what we do. So we tend. Firstly, we are very female-centric. We're a female-centric company. We're also owned by women. So we do give women an opportunity to really start something for themselves. And the backstories of some of these women is unbelievable if you really see them. And what I love about what we do is that that you see how you help a family. And I can go on forever about this, but so for us, the backstory and giving opportunity to women, especially, it's just what gives what we do meaning.
But just to be clear, to all the men,
if you have a story, you just come and talk to me.
Just come and talk to me.
No, so it's just obviously, you know what I'm saying.
I do. Maureen, for you?
Very, very important. I think people in the industry that I work in want to know where it's made, how it's made, is it ethically made, does it give meaning to the person that buys it? Yes, it does. It absolutely adds 100% that backstory.
All right. And then the contentious question, and I prefer to ask it so that it doesn't come up from the floor, is the question of markup. Right? If you buy a product from me for 100 Rand and I see it on your shelf for 1,000 Rand, that's not the case, by the way. I'm just making an extreme example. What goes into that markup? What's the rationale behind it? And I don't need you to tell me what your percentage markup is, but just explain to the makers how you go from the price of purchasing the product from the maker to your selling price that you set for your customer. Start with you, Cheryl.
Well, that's very important, all of that. It really is. I think Corpe Modern has been a success for so many years like that because we do, if I buy something, it's simple. I just double it, and then we're VAT registered. If I take it on consignment, it's a 60-40 split, 60 to the producer, 40 for us.
And if you take it on consignment,
consignment.
the price is set by the maker.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think we've been so consistent about that for so many years that, I mean, what also happens often is that with producers, we take it in a consignment first. If the product goes, we just buy it in next time.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's all that admin, you know, that there's a lot of admin attached to consignment.
No, absolutely.
You know, and then I know it's just you just put that on, and then so I always put up 10% as well because every single customer wants a 10% discount. It's unbelievable. No matter, I can never believe it. It's
I didn't ask for a
extraordinary.
10% discount. The next time I come and visit, I will definitely ask for that 10%
And then
discount.
then the card fees, and then all this. So we just put it up by 10%. We're happy to give you 10%.
That's clever. For you, Vanda?
So we don't work, so our model works on you pay for your stand, a fixed fee, which is actually very little compared to events out there. Because we run, we don't work in corporate buildings. We DIY very much so. But then we work on the commission. We have a commission of 15%. So we have a central pay point, a cashless system, and then 15% gets deducted off your turnover and it gets paid over to us, obviously. So you just get your money, and then with the cashless system has a 5%. But we also have a young entrepreneurs program, and we do have a sponsorship program where the fees go right down to 5%. And your stall fees. So that's why I'm saying we have a partnership, with you.
Okay. But then you might guide the maker
yes.
around the sensitivity of price,
Oh,
right?
yes,
if
absolutely.
they come in
Yes.
with an
Yes.
outrageous price, you'll say, look, this is not
Yes.
going to move.
Yes.
But if you price it at that point,
Yes,
take
it's
into
very
consideration
important.
the cost
Yeah.
of production.
Yeah. So that is very important. But our range of sales, it's so weird to see. We have about 140 makers at each event, and then you have your clothing guys. It's they're selling a product for say 2,000 Rand, and then you have your lollipop league who sells it for 40.
I love it.
So
Love it.
yeah.
For you, Maureen?
I think before we chat about why and how you mark up a product, it's important, I think, for makers to understand that the markup or the price that you set to a customer, if you're a business to customer maker, is going to be different than the price you set to Cheryl and the price you set to Vanda and the price you set to me. And each of those need to be considered before you even start marketing your product. Because if you come to me and you've only sold to a customer, and you're selling a T-shirt to your customer for 200 Rand, then I will never be able to sell that T-shirt on because I still need to put a markup on that T-shirt and sell it. And I don't want to be competing with your customers for their attention. So just figure out who your market is going to be exactly. Try and figure out that before the time. I want to sell online, I want to sell directly, I want to sell into retail, I want to be on markets. and then figure out what that price is going to be so that everybody can get a piece of the cake, you included. And then everybody has a price. There's a cost to business for everybody. You've got a raw material cost, you've got labor cost, you have got rentals, and so do retailers. Where your shop is situated depends on how much rental you pay. If you're in downtown, small little shoppy, your rental might not be that high, but if you are at OR Tambo, it's going to be a different story. And we also have labor costs, we've got holding stock costs, we've got distribution costs. As you have all your little headaches, so do we. And the markup is to cover that cost and make a profit at the end. Exactly what you do. You pay your costs and you try and make a profit at the end.
All right, thank you very much.
Please, can I say something?
Of course.
Can I please just? I think it is quite important to link onto what you're saying. I think as a maker, you must decide what it is I'm going to do. Am I going to become? Do I want to be? Do I want to flog the market with my product? Okay, that it's amazing to flog the market because you are going to really be selling a lot. Do I want to stay a small business in a niche market, and am I going to become a wholesaler? That is, so when you sell onto Tourvest, you become a wholesaler. So I think it becomes very difficult for you to try and do both, because obviously your profit margin is going to be much bigger if you sell directly, but it might be a smaller, you might make more money if you are going to go into wholesale. Yes, so I think you must just, as Maureen said, decide what it is you are. I am going to become a wholesaler, I'm going to produce, I'm going to be a producer, or I am going to be an artist and an artisan. It's actually, that is, I guess, what it is, isn't it? It's an artisan that it will exhibit with us, an artisan that will exhibit with Maureen, and what's your name again? It's very hot. Okay, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
No, thank you very much.
Sorry.
All right, show of hands, please. For questions, microphone is coming to you. Remember, introduce yourself and direct your question to one person, please. I reserve the right to make a sound to indicate that you need to start wrapping up. Just behind you, thank you. If you can stand up, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Elise from Crafts Cape Town. And Maureen, when I saw your name on the list, well, that's why I'm here today. I really tried from COVID, to get my products into your stores. So I took notes how you want me to approach you. Is there any other way that you will remember me, or can I make an appointment with you, or how can I get hold of you?
Do you know, I must quickly say that a lot of people misunderstand the structure of Tourvest, and very, very briefly, I think I just want to spend 2 minutes to quickly talk about that, because sometimes people just end up going to the wrong person. Okay, so Tourvest is an international company that's built on 6 pillars, and they try and touch a tourist every step of the way. So you have travel services, which is booking, making reservations. There is adventures, booking your adventure. So all about skydiving. There's accommodation. There's travel IT, which financial services. Sorry, so you can change your money. Did I say accommodation? In-flight, thank you. So in-flight, so you can see that there's a business for every sector of the market, and we do retail. The 6th pillar, or one of the 6 pillars, is retail. But retail also have 4 divisions. There's a jewelry division. There's a restaurant division. That's the inbound division, and there is destination retail. So that's where we fit in. So sometimes it's really complicated for a maker to figure out whom in this very big organization do I talk to. Okay. And then within the destination division, we have divided the stores into regions, and the people responsible for those regions look after those stores, and those are the people that you need to contact. So if you want to talk to a Cape Town store, you speak to the Cape Town team, a Joburg store to the Johannesburg team. But usually if you phone head office in Johannesburg, they will be able to direct you to the right person. That was a long story.
I try every year, twice a year. I try every year, twice a year, at this Cape Town store. Okay, when I go to the stores and I show them my fridge magnets, they are so, oh, this is so unique, because I don't sell it anywhere else than Table Mountain, because I don't want to flog the market with it. It must be unique, and that's why I approached you. So, do I keep on asking them, or can I directly send you an email?
The stores are usually, they have a good sense of what works for them, but they're usually not the decision makers of whether this product is going to be purchased or not. They should, in theory, direct you to either speak to one of the Cape Town brand managers or to me. And if it's not for me, usually when I get an email of product that's not suitable completely for Johannesburg, I would forward it on to the rest of the team. We try and share all the information, so if it's a Cape Town magnet, then they do see it. But since you've been struggling so much, I'll give you a business card, and you can contact me directly.
This is what we're going to do, Erica and Clayton, with your permission. We will circulate what the appropriate email addresses and contact persons are at the various regions, if that's okay, Maureen, for them to email you. She's getting 70 emails a day anyway, but at least as long as you know who to direct it to, and then we'll see what happens there. And good luck with it. There was a gentleman at the back, I think. Oh, sorry, there's a lady in the front here.
Okay, well, no need for gender, but anyway, greetings everybody.
So
no
sorry.
problem, no problem.
My eyesight.
Actually, my question was to everybody, but since I have to choose, I guess I'll go with Maureen, because I realized that one day you actually covered some of what I was going to ask. However, Maureen, I just want to understand the reception of the makers in terms of people who are black, age-related, queer maybe, or people who are differently able. For instance, I've got books here, and I heard you speak of books, and I'd like to go home without these books. And, I just want to understand as well, how is the culture of inclusion initially I wanted to ask everybody, but in your entity. Thank you so much.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Lebo.
And where are you from, Lebo?
I'm here in Cape Town at the moment, but originally from Joburg.
But you work independently. You're not part of an establishment or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lebo.
Thank you.
We are very proud to support South African craft, handiwork, design. It's one of our passions. It's what we do first. We love South Africa, we love the creativity of the people, and we showcase that in our stores because that is what our customers want. I've recently done an audit on one of the stores out of Africa at Joburg Airport, OR Tambo. And in that store, we have 95% South African makers. 5%, 4% of them African makers, and less than 1% imported product. So I think that is proof of our dedication to support South African creative industries. We obviously track our procurement, our BEE procurement levels. It is part of our audits. It's very important for us to support the right makers, but on every level, from a young person, whomever you are, young, old, tall, short, whatever it takes. If the product is right, we will look at that product.
All right. So it's a product and the quality of the product that drives the decision to include it in the store, as opposed to, I think what Lebo is asking, is there a deliberate plan to deliberately source product from young black women, for example, queer people, and such designations?
I think we're just open to see whatever, is presented to us. There's no discrimination in any way. I really don't, I really wouldn't say that this year I'm only going to buy from X or from females or from, it is product driven, but we really do try to be as inclusive as we possibly can.
Fair enough. Lebo, I was just about to be nice to you, and now you have completely messed up that opportunity. Please do indicate with your raised hand for the next question so that Johan can come to you. But I will go both to you and to Cheryl.
Am I allowed to?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think there's a very, very big need, Lebo, in our country to, and I think CDI, you obviously work you do incredible work on the ground level in the rural areas, the informal settlements. So what we need to do as purveyors of business is to get in touch with this talent and to make them market ready. Because the problem is that obviously finances are usually a massive thing. The second thing that is lacking is a support and a network. So we in this room, we have networks, we have support systems, I once again can go on, but I won't. But what we need to do is we really need to help, because if that application comes through to me, for instance, it will 90% be it'll be shambles. So, but usually, I'm very attentive to that, and then but. What I'm saying is that we really need to do more work on ground level to help these makers and to really make them market ready.
All right.
Okay.
I'll rephrase once again Lebo's question and direct it. We know that you have a positive bias towards females.
Yes.
Because you articulated that earlier. Does that bias extend to particularly, let's say, young black women, queer women, and so forth?
Listen, I'm not going to ask you if you're queer if you arrive, okay? That is okay. That's your business. But we do have a bias towards women. I will be honest. Our main focus is to grow our black maker base. That is just as simple as it is. And I promise you, it is hard work, because I am not going to do tokenism. I will not just place you in the show because I need my numbers for F&B to be whatever. Because the thing is, if you're not market ready and you come to the event, you sell nothing, you get, it's just delayed disappointment. So while I must tell you, more than female driving at the moment, it is really sourcing black and finding the talent in the community. That is just, we have to do it.
For you, Cheryl?
For me, it's talent. Doesn't matter where you come from, what you do, who you are. It's that energy and that talent and that sort of ability to persevere, because that's what you do.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Lebo, for that question. Time for one last. There's a hand there at the back. If you don't mind standing up, ma'am.
Hello, ladies. Thank you very much. My name is Tembisile from the company called Alta. alta.africa on digital platforms. I'm curious, just to streamline the whole procurement process, and this is a question for everyone, and whoever's willing to answer, because it's quite blanketed. Do you, in order to assist, basically facilitate the whole procurement process, does a buyer have access to your demographics and basically your key performance drivers for picking the type of product so that one actually can come a little bit more targeted when approaching your brand?
So just to clarify, in terms of demographics of the customer, so...
Customers, yes. So key insights into their customers, because they know their customers and, you know, that type of demographic, what they're looking for. Is that shared prior? Is that information that's available that we can access so that we at least make sure we're aligned in terms of the products before approaching?
Can I ask a question in return? Will that information in any way influence what product you produce or what product you pitch?
What product I pitch, because obviously they said they have different types of products that they basically procure. They look at the story, they look that, you know, it has a beautiful aesthetic in terms of the brochure, what you submit has to be really, you know, according to what they're trying to appeal to. So if I have a product, and I know my product is specific to that, but I want to tap into what they offer and the market demographic that they have, and I think it can, but obviously to make sure we streamline and don't waste time, is that information readily available?
Yeah, makes sense. Now, see, Libu, what you've started, I'm now going to have to ask all the ladies to answer that question. I'll start with you, Vanda. You made reference to like 14,000 feet coming through the market.
Yes.
Do you have a sense of who that is, and can she have access to that data?
Yes, this is very, very interesting, and it's such a good question because, firstly, Karmas, we don't deal with tourists. We deal with locals, okay? Because we're not tourist driven. That's not what we do. We sell throughout the year in the whole country, so you need to sell to South Africans. Of course, if we're lucky, in the winelands, you know, they fly in and out for the swallows. But anyway, so we are not tourist driven. So we do not stock animal prints. We don't stock curios. That is for Tourvest because that is the market they get. So I will help you. So you know, I'm just. But I will help you to. I will point that out. I will say to you, listen, this obviously this print is not going to work for us because we don't have the tourists. This is your demographic in Johannesburg. It's far edgier. It's a very much more integrated market. So indeed, that is why you come for your interview, and we help you.
What she's asking, though, is that in the process of determining what to pitch to you, are you able to say, of the 14,000 people that come through a market in Johannesburg, you're more likely to have a bias towards younger people earning in this bracket, excited about, like that's the kind of information?
Look, that information will only be given, I'm not going to publish it on the website. I think it is more of a personal information to be shared with the maker, depending on what you're doing. But certainly we will share it, but it's not going to, you know.
Okay, so you'll then have to request that information.
And also,
otherwise, just go to the market, sit there, and actually take note. Oh, that person, family of 4, coming in that car, they probably live in the southern suburbs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For you, Cheryl?
Well, I think you need to come and look at Cork Bay Modern and see what else we've got there. So if you come in with something completely, you know, that wouldn't fit into the into the gallery and the aesthetic, it also wouldn't be a good thing.
In terms of product.
In terms of product, yeah. And I think that most people that come to Cork Bay Modern are moneyed tourists. Or ex-South Africans visiting family that still live in South Africa. They live in Canada and Australia and London and New York. So it's an end destination, Cork Bay.
Yeah.
So I think people come, they spend the whole day in Cork Bay. They go to all the shops, and there's a huge amount of choice for them in Cork Bay anyway.
Yeah.
But when you come up to Cork Bay Modern, I think you want to select something for your house, for your home, something that you're going to live with, or specifically a present that doesn't weigh too much. Yeah, because we have a lot of tours coming through, and then they have ceramics, and won't you ship it? And often the shipping actually costs more than the product.
The actual price itself, yeah, exactly.
And the product itself.
Right.
So it has to be suitable to take with you, textile, jewelry, ceramics, whatever. So it's got to be sort of in that way. You'd be selecting to do product for that, for Cork Bay Modern.
And for Tour Vest, it's more than curious.
We really strive to make our relationship a successful one, and the best thing for me is to see a maker succeed and grow their business. So the more that I can share with that maker and develop with that maker and form a relationship with that maker, the better for both of us. It's a two-way relationship. So yes, that information is available, but it's in linking with your buyer, in forming a relationship with that buyer, and in discussion. It's not something that, as Vanda said, that we post on the website. These are the tips for your product type of thing, or bring me product like X, Y, Z. I think a very important thing is that you get to know the business that you want to supply, form a relationship with that business, and the information will be shared. Everybody, I think, want to see makers succeed.
All right.
Can I just say something?
Of course, yeah. Okay, cool. We'll start with you, Cheryl.
Yeah. I once supplied Tour Vest, and I must say it made us grow up.
In what sense?
In terms of never missing a delivery date, streamlining the product. It was for all the sand textiles that we used to supply at Tour Vest. And it makes you design for it, cost for it, and manufacture. And in doing that, I remember we learned so much about being responsible and being, keeping to those deadlines and having good admin. It was a great learning curve.
Without it compromising your art, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Vanda, you wanted to comment as well?
Okay, so I think just remember one thing. You are the maker, and this is your concept. You do not have to please everybody. You cannot be everyone's darling. You are doing what you're doing. Believe in what you are doing, and your vision will succeed. I can start singing as well. I can make a song about this wonderfulness of being true to yourself. So I just think it is problematic if you are starting to pivot too much to try and keep everybody happy.
All right. Let me ask this cheeky question, actually. How quick are you to rid your stores or tables of a product that is not moving? So you might have thought, my clients are going to love this, but it just sits and no purchase. Do you, at a certain point, go, actually, this was a lovely exercise, but no more? Or do you persevere, try different things to actually bring attention to that product?
Well, I don't do retail, so...
Okay, so
For a
you
reason.
won't answer that question then. Let me start with you, Cheryl.
Well, with art, it's different. I just keep... If I think the work is good and I think it's a good piece of art, I keep changing the position of the product. It's amazing how if you place something with something else, the connection is there. So a lot of it is the curation. I say the curation is quite. I think I always try the best for something that I think has got potential. I keep moving it around. I keep trying to see where it will attract somebody's attention. And usually it does. You know, I think I trust my own instinct when I choose stuff. Yeah.
Maureen, for you?
Yeah, so when you buy something, you believe in it. That's why you bought it in the first place. But you can't always see into the future. I wish we could. So you don't always know whether this is going to be the next best thing or not. We are not that hectic on culling it very quickly. You know, you give it some time because you believe in it. You want to, as Cheryl said, you move it around a bit. You might have bought too little of it. You need to maybe make a bigger statement of it. There are many things that are impact on whether a product is successful or not. And if I believe that we need to make a few tweaks to the product, maybe it's on the wrong base cloth, or it's something's wrong with it, something's off with it, the zip doesn't close nicely. I don't know. I would have a discussion with the maker to say, this is not moving as great as we thought it would. Let's look at this, let's review it and see if we can make changes to it. And then I suppose in the end, if it really doesn't sell, then we need to stop buying it.
No, fair enough. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for those insights. A lot of it was pretty technical and almost routine, but I think a lot of makers needed the information to know what is required. I'm deliberately not asking you what trends are going out there because it doesn't matter, at least not to me. I think the makers have to do that homework for themselves and see what product will resonate the most with you. I also don't want you to shape what they're doing and what they're creating, because that was not the purpose of this exercise. A round of applause, please, for my panel. Maureen, Vanda, and Cheryl, ladies, thank you so much. And Johan, if I can have my microphone back, please, so that we can have the final address for the afternoon. Soraya Moedin is the Principal Growth Coalitions Officer in the Growth Coalitions branch at the Economic Development and Investment Department here within the city of Cape Town. I see that you are making a lot of notes there, and I have no doubt that you've had a very fruitful morning and afternoon. A round of applause, please, for Soraya.
Thanks, Africa. As Africa mentioned, I'm Soraya Moedin. I'm with the City of Cape Town's Economic Growth Department, and I am responsible for a number of things, including a very close relationship with the fantastic team at the CDI, where we work hand in glove in stimulating the craft, design, and creative economy in our city. Thank you. Thanks to our expert panel. It was really insightful. Thank you. It was really insightful to hear the practical recommendations that you have, the experience that you could share with our makers in the city. And I really appreciate you coming from near and far to share that deep expertise. We really do appreciate it. For me personally, some of the takeaways as a layperson and not a crafter, but someone who's got a deep interest in growing your businesses, I really appreciated the insights into exploring the routes to market, how the impact of trends and the rhythm depends on a volume or whether it's a curated environment. I thought that was quite interesting. Also the insights into the buying process from a practical standpoint, how the timing of the buying cycle and could influence the uptake of our makers' products, and also the importance of consistency, and I think tenacity is what I got in that message as well. And of course, we can't not talk about the quality of the product and how important that is, the quality of the product, but also the quality of the collateral that you're putting out, your photos, your communication, your emails. Every single touch point that you have is quite influential in whether your products may get taken up or not. And then finally, one of the takeaways that I took from this conversation was how to trade in these high value markets. The importance of the story. This is something that as the city we rely on as well, because we take and we curate your stories and we take it out there to the market, and we're able to tell a beautiful story and show your wonderful products to potential investors and to people who are interested in purchasing your products on whatever platform we are able to tap into. Finally, thank you, Erica, Fran, and the CDI team. You guys are always wonderful to work with, and thank you for bringing together such an amazing panel. I learned so much. And gratitude to you, our makers, our innovators, our entrepreneurs. You guys have been such an engaged audience. I sort of stole a couple of glances at you, and people were making notes furiously, and I could see how tapped into the conversation you were. So if you are interested in this type of platform, please do let us know. I believe that we have a survey up. I'm interested to hear what you thought about it. Please share your feedback if this was of value to you, if you've learned something, if it's going to change and improve and add to the growth of your business and your products. Please do let us know, and we can explore how we can do a bit more of this. Right, Erika? To the people joining online, thank you so much. If you've got questions, do reach out to us through the investcapetown.com website. And please do stay. Please join us for lunch. It'll be through the doors to my right. And enjoy a finger lunch with us. Enjoy some networking. And thank you, Africa. Thanks, everybody.
One moment. I've literally just been given the instruction. Soraya, thank you very much. Round of applause, please, for Soraya. We know it's getting hot in here, which is amazing, but we do need to take one group photograph. So who needs to direct? What do you want me to do? What do you want them to do? Oh, we all have to go to the back. Oh, sorry. Do get up, make your way to the back, and then there'll be a group photograph taken. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch. Remember to scan the QR code, quick response code, and complete the survey for us in order to help us curate the next ones. Thank you, everyone.